Grand Rapids, Michigan is a very white city. The white gaze is everywhere. When I have my colorful braids in or when I'm out brunching with my creatives, we get lots of stares, we get lots of looks. We get lots of puzzled looks. I mean, we're just living our best lives.
In the heart of an ever-evolving and ever-gentrifying Grand Rapids, women of color are pushing to create a professional and emotional supportive network. So who are these women of color who have carved a space they call For Us, By Us?
I am from Grand Rapids, born and raised. I'm a Blodgett baby, and I grew up on the southeast side. I lived in Kentwood. I went to NHA schools, Excel Charter Academy. Grand Rapids girl through and through. And I am the founder of Women of Color Creatives and one of 600 plus women in leadership roles.
Spaces made by and for people of color are not new. In 1895, the Phyllis Wheatley Club started in Buffalo, New York, and was founded by a social worker from Chicago, after Buffalo women were concerned with the negative racial stereotypes that dominated press coverage of the African American community. Yet, social spaces for women of color, like Women of Color Creatives Grand Rapids, where women have a chance to connect, share knowledge and resources, and build relationships, remain extremely rare in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I was just looking for a place that I could talk to people and find sisterhood outside of my own sister. I had an experience a couple of days ago where I'm just like, I can't get this with the friends that I have. I need to branch out so I can feed the other parts of me that aren't getting fed by my current friend circle. And so I'm coming here to get fed and feed my life, my soul, my artisticness, and all that wonderfulness. So that's why I came.
I feel that. I left my sister behind in Japan. I talk to her every day, and it's still hard, but we make it work. But yeah, I made it very intentional to make sure this was my main group of friends. I didn't want to move back into what I had in the suburbs where most of my friends were, I think growing up, were Taiwanese and Chinese because we're in orchestra together. So now I'm I want to intentionally be surrounded by melanin, and these are my main friends. I have my boyfriend, but I need ladies.
In West Michigan, a significant number of women of color with college degrees are living in poverty. According to a study done by the W.K. Kellogg Foundation Fellows Shannon Cohen and Pat Sosa Verdine. The study concludes that in West Michigan, women of color are not given the title or the wage compensation for the work they're asked to do. So for Women of Color Creatives Grand Rapids, the solution to that is fostering a space for themselves where they share resources and support.
I think, to me, a space that is for us, by us, is a space where we feel free to express ourselves, where we feel that we don't have to explain ourselves, where we don't have to perform our racial identities for people, and we can just enjoy each other's company and work together, and I think that's what that means to me. A space that doesn't have the white gaze is a space where we feel comfortable and where we can feel free to be ourselves of all of our different racial identities and backgrounds and not feel that pressure to answer questions or be the person who speaks on behalf of all of us.
What Women of Color Creatives Grand Rapids is, in addition to catering to women of color, is the privilege of connections.
It's we have created our own sense of majority. When we create our spaces, we are the majority. Boom.
And it's acknowledging we're here and we exist, and there's a group like this for women of color, and that can help empower women of color, because a lot of women or young girls of color don't have something like this where they can lean on for mentorship and get the help that they need in other areas. And it's more of this supportive group that exists, and it's we exist, we're here, and we're strong and courageous women who want to make a change.
For WGVU News, I am Michelle Jokish-Polo.
Support for Mutually Inclusive comes from the W.K. Kellogg Foundation.